Hey Leos, welcome back to another weekly reading. I hope the past week has treated you well. Not a lot of new things to update on. These are a little bit late. My apologies. My regular life has gotten in the way and gotten a little bit busier, which takes away from this, of course. So in any event, let's see what's happening for you this week. The Star. What a beautiful energy to get out first. The High Priestess on the bottom here. Let's get some more cards out before I start laying down the foundation here. But the Star is always a good card to get in my mind. You really can't go wrong with it. The Star can be about healing. To me, it's similar to the Temperance in that you get a balancing of energies too. So it's almost like that groundedness. So it's that really beautiful balance between being grounded but also being in your emotions, right? The messages that I'm getting off this card without anything else being laid down just yet is there's one thing that has happened or is going to happen that changes everything. Okay, and so there'll be something, whether that's a decision made or someone coming towards you. We'll see as the cards start to come out. But with that, from that one thing, there's there's an offshoot of other things that come from that that are, awesome, equally as awesome. That's a funny card to get next to it, the Knight of Swords. Kind of feel like you're not trusting it. The Queen of Swords, the Three of Swords, the Death card, the High Priestess showed itself to us again. That's interesting. And the Two of Pentacles and the Tower. Wow, with the Justice at the bottom. Feels like whoever this is has gone through a separation or possibly a divorce or is going through it. Even when I look at all these cards laid out here, it's got that feel to it already. When I look at this spread, none of it's congruent with the Star here. So I feel like the Star is crowning your reading to reassure you that things are going to get better. But you've been through hell. I'm just going to say that to get to that point, whenever that point comes. This is this decision that you made, and again, it just feels like a separation when I look at all these cards here, has kept you up at night. I think it's possibly woken you up out of a dead sleep, and either you've wondered, what have I just done, or what am I going to do? That sort of energy, and just feeling really lost. It's that feeling that you get when you're in a situation and you can't get out of it, and it's almost like you're trapped and so overwhelmed that you just don't know what you're going to do. Okay. Yeah, I feel potentially, Leo, that this is your energy here in the Queen of Swords. I feel like you had to end something. If this isn't you, this is whoever that you were dealing with. This person, whatever they told you, and I feel like they told you the truth and just kind of, said it like it was, sort of thing. Potentially this could also have been a friend that told you something that ended in heartbreak. Okay. That card there is the type of pain you feel when, honestly, just like when somebody breaks your heart. I think it's that decision where, sorry, I shouldn't say decision, but it's that feeling you get when I'm just hearing all hope is lost, that you're never going to recover from this, where you're kind of in that dark pit, that, the dark depths sort of thing, and you feel like you're never going to get out of it. Okay. I think a change needed to take place. I think a transformation needed to happen so that you could get this Star to come in. The Death card, speaks to change that maybe uncomfortable, but it is needed, and it is for, higher growth sort of thing. Um, I think intuitively you knew that you were going to have to make this decision. I think intuitively you knew that the decision you made was kind of going to bring the house down, sort of thing. Okay. And so whether this has been done to you or maybe you've done it to somebody else, it's almost like, you went through that period of indecision, and then you just said it like it was. You just came out with it, but it wasn't easy at all. Like, none of this was easy here. I mean, to get this many majors out, just at the beginning of the reading is huge. And they're all about transformation and change and healing, because we've got the Star, we've got Death, High Priestess, the Tower. Okay. And so it was like a knowing that this needed to happen. But executing it is quite another, and it's quite painful. Okay. And then obviously once you made this decision, or someone made it for you, we've got the Tower coming down here. Okay. And so, with that, again, this blows the top off of everything, and it feels like life is falling apart. It feels like, I just heard something like you'll never be the same again, potentially. But in the Tower here, we see that the foundation hasn't been lost. And so, although the top was blown off of this, a huge shock or something that shook someone's world, or it was, again, necessary, but it feels awful. It feels like this. It feels like the Three of Swords. But again, I think intuitively knew this had to happen. All right. And then again, I just have to stress that not all is lost, because your foundation is still there. But that's not to say that, a crisis didn't occur. So let's get some more cards out. Oh, yeah. Leo, like, you've really been through it. Or you've had to deliver news that broke someone's heart, and they're really going through it, or you're really going through it in that you had to break their heart, right? Like, it really sucked. Whatever this was, this really speaks to carrying a heavy burden. I feel with this card, it's almost like you carried this around for a really, really long time, and it just got to be too much. And that's when I think, again, you intuitively knew that this change, this Tower had to come in, that you were going to have to be the one potentially to decide this. Yeah. And, I feel inclined, I keep saying when you did this, so again, I almost feel like this is you that made this decision to end something. I think that's going to be, for me, the primary message here. Because I just feel inclined to keep saying that. And with the Star card there, I think this had to be done in order for you to, again, start a new beginning and become more balanced in your life, and in whatever way that takes place. But again, like I was saying, this was a huge burden to carry. This is something that you've been carrying for quite some time, possibly, I don't want to say 10 months, I would say more likely like 10 years. Okay, it's been about 10 years here that it's been just hearing like pushing uphill. And you're exhausted. I think you're just spent from this. Again, like, we still have Justice on the bottom there. It's interesting too. It's funny how I don't notice things straight away. When you kind of get into this and you start channeling, you kind of just take what you get. But when I stop and I observe, we've got two tens here, the Ten of Wands and the Ten of Swords, which again speaks to endings. So it'd be nice to see some aces come out for new beginnings here. This card here, the Six of Cups. I feel like this has to do with the Queen of Pentacles. Perhaps you've separated from a Queen of Pentacles, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn energy here. Again, it doesn't have to be a female. It could be a male that possesses that kind of energy. This would be somebody who's like a homebody, somebody who loves to nurture and entertain and take care of others. Just a natural beauty, I'm hearing as well. Just a very quiet person, not really loud and boisterous, but just a very quiet, peaceful person. I feel like you've had to separate from them. This person could have been someone that you met when you were younger, that you've been with for quite some time, and that you just felt a camaraderie with, I'm hearing. So, soulmates for sure, possibly a past life connection with this person, and that's what made it so hard to break away from this, because it was karmic, it was a past life issue. So those are very, very hard to separate from. But I just heard like you've learned all you can from that. Interesting. I'm not going to take this, but I will point out it's the Five of Wands. I think again, these last 10 years, I think there was likely a lot of bickering, a lot of fighting, a lot of, did I say arguing already? Just a lot of tension in the home, okay? But again, because this connection was so strong, it's really hard to walk away from that, even when it's unhealthy. Yeah, I think much of the time you were feeling like this, it's kind of like, which way do I go? And it's almost, again, that sense of being overwhelmed when there's so many options and so many different directions to choose. It's almost feeling like, I don't know. Just that kind of energy there, which again, I think leads to more of this energy of just, that overwhelm. Interesting that we have the World on the bottom. So again, something coming to an end. The World is the last card in the majors. And then we start over with the Fool. So lots of talk here about the ending of something. So that you can start new and that healing can take place. I don't think you healed. I think you are either at the beginning of healing or potentially halfway through, but there's a real heavy focus here on more of that energy of kind of being in this and having to make that decision, and it being really difficult. So I don't think you're coming out of this. I think you're probably in the midst of it, if not at the beginning. The Ten of Pentacles here just really speaks to matters of the home. And so again, we're getting a 10 here. So what are we missing? We're missing, the 10 of Cups. That might come out in reverse. But endings. Okay. 10 of Pentacles speaks to foundations of the home, legacy, that sort of thing. Again, I think whoever this is, you've built a life with them. I've just heard 20. So I don't know if you've been married to this person for 20 years or we're married to them for 20 years, but that's ringing. And then the Hierophant, again, where, this relates to issues of marriage. Okay, so there's no doubt about it. This is the dissolution of a marriage here, of a long-term relationship. Yeah, and if you're common law, same thing applies, right? Yeah, I just heard it. It's more likely a marriage though, because with the Hierophant coming through, we've got, something that was made official. So I get the sense that there were papers signed, sort of things. So I'm also hearing that for you to leave this person, it's leaving behind all of those memories that you form with them from a younger age. Okay, and so I think that's also made this very difficult. It just speaks to that process of letting go and mourning the loss of that. So knowing that this relationship can't go on, but also mourning everything that goes with that. Okay, and it's not that you'll ever forget it. That's not reasonable. Why would you want to forget the good things? You built a life with this person. Potentially you had kids with them. I don't know, but I suspect from the Ten of Pentacles you may have, but it's like it's working through that piece. Okay. What are some messages that we could get for our Leos here today? It's it's good to tell a story and everything, but what are the messages here? I might have to pull an oracle for that. Yeah, I'm gonna have to pull an oracle. You've got the Magician on the bottom. I think at some point you realize, I just hear like you're the master of your own destiny, and you realize that if you're going to grow in life, if you're going to move forward, you had to move out of the situation that obviously wasn't working. I don't think that you were tempted elsewhere. Whatever this was, this relationship wasn't working. Okay, it wasn't healthy. And so you decided at some point, or you were about to decide, that you're the master of your own destiny and you can change this. Okay, you might have some Gemini or Virgo in your chart here. Yeah, I'm just being told again that you had to give it straight to someone. Like, you had to be very concrete and just to the point. And that was very difficult for you to do because you realized how much hurt this caused someone and yourself too. This was not easy for you either. Let's see. One more shuffle. It's funny, Between Worlds has shown up on the splits for at least 2 shuffles. Yeah, breathe. Breathe there. Okay. That's 29. Adding up to 11 to 2. I'm just getting through that card. It's almost like having to just, through every step of this, the advice is to just, like, when you're feeling overwhelmed or when you're feeling almost like frozen in fear or whatever it is that you're feeling, just take a moment and take some nice deep breaths, just to kind of settle your nervous system. The vagal nerve, when we can take those intentional breaths, can help kind of settle the nervous system there. Instead of this state of almost running away with your thoughts and panicking perhaps, or just feeling overwhelmed and to the point of almost being frozen. Okay, because there has been moments like that, or there is moments like that currently. I suspect it's because it's happening to you currently, because I did ask for advice. What other advice could we offer Leos here? Surely that can't be it. Breathe. For those of you that hold this belief, there's also just knowing that you're protected. There's somebody, I feel like it's a guardian angel. I don't necessarily think it's someone that you know, like a past loved one, but there is somebody walking with you through this. And I don't know if you get like this really warm feeling in your chest or in your belly, that kind of comes out of nowhere, or when you're being still and when you're being quiet, if you just feel this warmth light up, or if you feel pressure on the top of your hand or in your palm, it's on this person's right, and so it would be your left. Okay, just know that that's a sign that someone's with you, and helping you through this and guiding you through this. Okay, yeah, milk and honey. This card to me is like the star, in that I think the first thing it's telling me is to embrace the good times that you had together with this person, and don't let go of that. We certainly don't want to negate all of that, but I also think this is a message of hope, of things improving, of things getting better, and your life becoming much better when the two of you kind of, go your separate ways and you start that healing process. again, like I said, it's just in the cards here, it's indicating that this needed to happen. Okay. TikTok on the bottom there. I just heard it was time. Okay, so if you're not thinking about this, this reading's not for you. If you're trying to decide, I don't know that this reading is for you either, quite honestly. It could be. I feel like this reading is more for someone who's actively going through this right now. Take it as you wish. A serendipity. Yeah. The serendipity card there. I don't get that one very often, honestly. It's the 4-leaf clover, which is very fortuitous. It's very lucky. Again, I think this just speaks to fortune. And I think when you least expect it, something good is going to come along, and it's going to be just the right moment, just the right place sort of thing. So again, I feel like this is more reassurance of don't worry. It's going to make you feel light. You'll know when you get this because it's going to make you feel light. It's going to make you feel like, first of all, it was destined. Like, it's like, well, this can't be coincidence sort of thing. And again, I'm just getting this lightness. This person is kind of, floating up from the ground. It's sort of that feeling that you get in your heart. I'm just getting, like, I would never advise someone get into another relationship straight away after getting out of one. I think you really need to take time to explore the patterns you were investing in, especially if you've been married to this person for a really long time, and, sort through your own stuff before you get involved with other people. Okay. But it's just showing you that, if you're having moments where you're like, what have I done? Or what am I doing? It's just, hang on, you can't see it now, but eventually, you will get there. This isn't the end of the world, even though it feels like it. Yeah, I think a truth was told. And I think, again, what I was just saying about, taking a good hard look at your patterns, taking those masks off, like, who are you really in love? What are your motivations? What are your tendencies? I think you need to have a sit down with yourself, in this energy here, and tell yourself some truths or explore them, right? I think through this experience, you'll learn a lot about yourself, or you have already learned a lot about yourself, because this to me speaks of lessons and wisdom coming from love and a removal of masks. And of course, we can't have healing and, serenity and peace and that sort of thing unless we can get really honest with ourselves. Let's get one more message here for our Leos before we go today. One more message. Oh, it's a clumsy shuffle. Maybe that's all there was to say. Wow, okay. Again, we're getting deep knowing with the not for you card. Okay, so again, I spoke about that here with the High Priestess about, deep down you knew that this wasn't for you. You knew that it wasn't working, that it wasn't supposed to last forever sort of thing. Okay. I don't know how much more explicit it could get. I think this is just confirmation that this wasn't for you, and you knew it. We've got a lot of 6s in here too. I'm sorry, when I think back to numerology, I'm not familiar with what the 6s represent. That might be something that you want to look up on your own, though, from a numerological perspective. Because we've got, 6 not for you, 6 of cups here. It's not that this relationship didn't serve a purpose. I'm hearing that, like, it did. It absolutely did. And there's a lot of lessons for both of you to take from this. But this wasn't supposed to be a forever thing. Okay. And there's lots of people that do believe that, that relationships teach us something about others, about ourselves. and they're learning opportunities, and that none are meant to last forever. That's not for everybody, but certainly I think people are being a little more honest about that. And relationship statuses are changing. It's just not man, woman, married forever. 2.5 kids, house, car, all that stuff, right? So if someone's giving you a hard time about that, about this decision here, I'm hearing that I just heard the world's changing, and you're certainly not the only one. Okay, so Leo, I hope this resonated for somebody out there. If you've enjoyed the video, please be sure to hit the like button and subscribe for more readings in the future. Take care, Leo. Bye for now.